Oh, oh, look at that body. Oh, look at that body. Oh, look at that body. Ugh, boy. All right, let's see who shows up at a random time on a random day. Oh, Stranger Things Part 4. Yes. 100 Time Monsters. Nah. Hey, Colin Jensen 138. That's an unfamiliar name. How you doing? Hey, Star Wars. Yeah, it's the morning. What am I doing up? I'm awake. Yeah, hey Matthew. Yeah. I just felt like streaming in the early morning. I was kind of was feeling a little alone, you know. The Countess is up, she's like working, and I had nothing to do today in the early morning until like the afternoon. So I didn't know what to do. So I decided to come on. Hey, Indigenous Goth, how's it going? Man, how's your mornings going? Hoping it's good. I gotta figure out like, I'm just like going through shit, randomly going through shit. Might as well show you my browsing. There's no reason not to. I'm gonna be browsing YouTube, I think. And we're just gonna hang out, chat. Couldn't sleep very well, Iramaj. Yeah, I get that. Although I did sleep okay. You know, turned in early and now I'm awake and I'm like, what the fuck? Call of Baphomet, what is this? Huh. I guess it's just music to pray to Baphomet to, or something like that. I have a very strange. My personal religion is very strange. Yeah, it's in the day and L. My personal religion is very strange. Like, um, I worship a host of gods. One of which is Baphomet. And I generally worship what are considered heretical gods. You know, it's just kind of easier to just call myself a Satanist since I seem to align with that. I align with that really well, and I'm not really shy about being like, yeah, fucking the devil, man. What am I doing up? Talking about Baphomet, I guess. Um, One of the things about Baphomet that I find very interesting, and indeed a lot of the gods I do worship kind of interesting, is that they're all slightly open for interpretation. Like they don't have an orthodoxy, or if they do have an orthodoxy, it is very far away from me. For example, like when dealing with the peacock angel, there is an orthodoxy to the peacock angel among the Yazidi. Hi, cat. But that is a closed practice that is. I don't know if it's hereditary, but it is closed and it's only for the people born of that. But I feel a strong connection with the story of the Peacock Angels, so I just adopted it anyway. You could call it cultural appropriation, but that's for other people to decide, really. Um, I don't know if I see it that way, but like I think it would be cultural appropriation if I proclaimed myself to be Yazidi, which I am not. I am very not. Um, I am probably, when you get right down to it, I'm probably more black than I am Yazidi, and I don't think I have any black heritage. Um, yeah, early bird today. Hey, Thorgrim, how's it been? So I see Baphomet very much as like the great alchemist, a great thinker and a great experimenter, a god of knowledge and intellect. Um, but there are two sides to him, as evidenced in the tattoos on his arm, one being coagule and the other being solve. Solve is the ability to separate and to analyze. Whereas coagule is the ability to put together in a viable way. Basically, a separation and union. In a very general sense. He also sits upon the world, being like a god of the physical earth, which seems like a bit of a oxymoron, but like we have godlike symbols for a whole bunch of things that are paradoxical. That's one of the things that makes up a god, is something paradoxical about their nature. Because if there was another way to communicate it that didn't require a paradox, it would just be pure language. Let's see. Dillo typing. Oh, God. Let's see. The weirdest Japanese insect name. Oh, okay. A friend just sent me a random text. Um, I know. I know. I'm a day walker. I'm just showing off. You know. Um, so when yes, Kitty, you can get in and out at will. You just want me to open the door. Yes, master. You should become a monk, Jack. I think about that a lot. I think I should become a really bad monk. You know, I think I should be one of those monks that like drinks and has sex with women. And people go like, "Oh yeah, that's Shen. He's a weird one." You know, yeah, be a Taoist priest, be a Taoist sorcerer. Well, in a way, I kind of am. I just don't. I just don't tie myself to any orthodoxy. Which is Taoist in and of itself. But there are like Taoist rituals and things, and rituals by their kind of nature are kind of orthodox. But then again, so does Satanism have rituals, which I fuck around with on a regular basis. You know, so you've got coagulate and solve, to take apart to put together, and it's also important to remember that the light coming out of his head, that horn that's got the candle on his head, essentially, yeah, to that's a symbol of enlightenment. You know, and they use this candle like thing because they didn't have light bulbs back in those days. Um, so whenever you see like a creature with like this one horn coming out of their head that emits supposed to emit light, yeah, that's because they're a god of enlightenment. Maybe start training with Jan G again. Go full on Tao's Kung Fu Wizard. Maybe. I'm gonna take a stab at this game designer thing first. Maybe I'll become a Taoist priest a little bit later. But I want to see how this game designer thing happens, how this goes out, because I I love being involved in some form of media and some form of direct entertainment. And while I think being a Taoist priest can be entertaining, I don't consider it entertainment. I consider it spirituality. Um, So, the fuck are you doing? Sorry, Kitty is crepuscular, and so he's running around right now. More so than usual. He's doing stuff. He's doing business. He's doing kitty business. You know. Um, but one of the problems that I have with a lot of academia is it's a lot of solve and not a lot of coagulae. Coagulae would, but to be fair, coagulae is more of engineering and the arts. Those are the intellectual pursuits of coagulae, to build something, to make something, to make something from the disparate things that you find. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the thing about the arts is that uh, they put things together in a way people hadn't conceived of before, and it opens one up to new possibilities. The problem is that we live in cultures that try to pursue pure profit, and coagulate doesn't work that way. The arts and engineering don't work that way. You can't absolutely predict what it is going to create, even with engineering, because you're never really sure how society is going to, what society is going to do with that invention, with that thing. This is one of the reasons I like cyberpunk, because like it's a genre that just basically says, yeah, you don't know what people are going to fucking do with a thing that's created, because the street has its own uses for everything. Graffiti is the primary example. Spray paint is intended to touch up your car, but that's not what most spray paint is used for. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of spray paint is used to touch up your car, but it really is an artistic medium. On the street level, it's an artistic medium, which is not what a chemical company had in mind when they made it. But people bought it to make art with, and so they kept making and selling it. True art should be driven by passion, not profit. Yeah, I agree, because the problem is that the profit motive kind of it changes it changes the direction the art takes, and that is potentially a problem. Not always, but often. Because at the most profitable form of art is advertising. And advertising at its base is kind of, I'd say, societal control. It's more societal manipulation. It's societal manipulation that is attempting to do is attempting to make profit. It attempts to make profit the justifiable cause for doing things that you're pretty sure will be bad for people. The profit motive makes it okay. That's not okay. It doesn't make it, there's no other moral metric that makes it okay. To do something that is danger is not just dangerous, but is harmful to other people. But the thing is that we don't fucking hold advertising to that standard. We hold the arts in general to that standard. And that's not the same thing, because it allows fucking advertising to get off the hook. I have a long-standing like fucking war with I'm in a long-standing war with advertising. Um because advertising is not just, I consider it a dark art. You know, I do consider advertising a dark art. You know, it's a black magic. You know, in many ways. Oh, hey, Bridget Gonzalez, Avi Satanas, Hail Satan. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I hope your class is going well. Are you the teacher or the student in this equation? Tasmanian chocobo. What are we looking at? Oh, we're looking at this picture of Baphomet because I was talking about Baphomet and the arts. You know, because while I bitch about intellectualism, or no, it's not really intellectualism I bitch about. While I bitch about academia, I do see it as useful. I do see it as important. It's just that I get really mad when I see people who only really use one side of the mind and hold that up as the ultimate expression of all humanity. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Solve is not expression. Solve is analysis. That's very different. That's very different from expression. You know, coagulate is about expression. You know, coagulate is what does it, but we've separated the intellectual from the artistic in this very unhealthy way. Yeah, it says Tasmanian chocobo. I am a teacher's aide. Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, you must engage with both yin and yang. Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, in Asia, it's considered the passive versus the aggressive forces. You know, which is a very different way of seeing things. It's a different way. It's a different model of the mind. Yeah, the guy who created propaganda also created advertisements. So yeah, no, exactly. It should be George Vision. Fucking app. Oh yeah. Okay. Hey George, how you doing? You know, but it's very different. It's a very different way of seeing the world and even seeing intellectual pursuit. You know, because you can't have one without the because there's an acknowledgement that you can't have one without the other. That's actually something that is very particular to Western thought. The idea that you need these very, very, very concise categories, um, which makes it very good at analysis, but makes it very, very poor at bringing those parts together. You know, people are like, "Oh, why is China so ahead in engineering?" And it's like, well, because they know that the they're familiar with the other part of engineering, which is making something. You know, and that's actually part of the model of intellect is the ability to do such things. You know, whereas in America, we see engineers as being less intellectual. Yeah, like, have you ever noticed that? Like, an engineer is like a glorified manufacturer. It is not considered an intellectual pursuit. It's considered too practical, you know. But I'm like, no, engineering is an intellectual pursuit. It's an intellectual pursuit. It's an intellectual pursuit of things that it chooses to focus on, but it is an intellectual pursuit. And that's what I mean by, like, in the Western world, like, solve is considered analysis is considered the absolute end all be all of all intellect. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. That is absolutely fucking ridiculous. You know, other cult, you know, no one else does that. Like, that would be stupid. Yeah, surprise stream. You know, thinking that intellect is sorry, thinking that analysis is the height of intellect is very stupid. You know, and actually is in many ways the fault of the university system. And and like the fault of it's not the fault of postmodern thinking. Postmodern thinking didn't create it, but it glorified it. Postmodern thinking glorified it to like this incredible degree. Um, and one of the things I hate is that one of the things I hate, and it is difficult to analyze. Um, but one of the things I hate is the fact that postmodernism became the word used for the boogeyman of the modern fascist. Because whatever is current is bad, you know, to the fascist mind. It should have been like the old times, whatever the fucking old they think the old times were. You know, but the problem with postmodernism is that it glorified analysis to such a degree that I think everyone like that there was not enough push towards the coagulate part of the equation, the actual making of something. You know, it's not that postmodernism isn't useful, but it is clearly this path that only Western thinking could have come up with. You know, only Western thinking could have come up with postmodernism. You know, so whenever someone is sort of like, oh, the West is under threat by postmodernism, no, it's a direct fucking product of it. It's a direct fucking product of it. You know, good or bad, it's a direct product of Western thinking. Well, I think that there is utility in thinking of how to put things together. Um, and I think that we as uh, Western society don't care about that as much. And we should, because if you do, you start noticing what the real problems are in a weird way. It gives you a new way, because coagulate can also give you a new form of analysis, and solve can give you a new thing to create. You know, they're combined. They're not truly separate things, and they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be considered truly separate things. You know, but I don't know. But the only counterexample we have is yin and yang, which is not the same separation at all. It's very different, but it's so different. It's an apples and oranges comparison. Um, like we try to put the arts on a high pedestal, but we don't actually do it. One of the problems of Western society, and this is a big one, is that you know how they always say, "Oh, we have to have the discussion." Yeah, they believe that having the discussion is the same as solving the problem. A lot of people believe that having the discussion solves the problem. And I'm like, no, having the discussion is a step towards solving the problem. Because you're already dealing with an abstraction of what the problem actually is. You're dealing with what people believe or think that the problem is. No matter how smart you are, You have abstracted it out. And often a problem is, as they say, as we like to say, the devil is in the details. And the real solutions to the problems are generally in the details, But when we talk about things, we've abstracted it. We are ignoring the details, which can be very, very useful, but it's not the same as solving the problem. And that's what I get frustrated at. Oh, well, we're having the discussion. We're helping. It's like, well, yeah, you're helping, but like, we're not solving the problem. Don't pat yourself too hard on the back because you're still not solving the problem. You might be able to, but on the other hand, Solvay helps you identify a problem. So it's not completely useless. It's not like I want to do away with analytical thinking. Analytical thinking is really, 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 really important. I'm just tired of it being held up as the highest expression of intellectualism because I don't think that that's true. And I think that's the blind spot that Western thinking has created. Can you give an example how postmodernism ruins something? Yeah, totally. The problem with postmodernism, in a nutshell, is that, well, is what I just said. The belief that the analysis of the problem is the same as the solution. That's a very easy trap to fall in the Western world. It's very easy to fall into that trap. Because we treat intellect like a razor. If there was to be, if we were to put Coagulate and Solvay into two different as instruments, Solvay would be a scalpel, Coagulate would be suture, would be needle and suture. That's a clumsy analysis, but hopefully it communicates what I'm talking about. My favorite example of postmodernism fucking something else is the saying, the medium is the message. Because the problem with postmodernism is it allows you to argue anything from any point without having to prove anything. Because, words mean whatever they, words have no intrinsic meaning. Whereas I'm of the opinion that a word does have intrinsic meaning. If it doesn't have intrinsic meaning, it's not a word, it's a sound. For example, listen to a language you don't understand. Now all of a sudden it's just sounds. It's not words. Words have meaning. Words have meaning by their nature. If they don't have meaning, they're just sounds. They're just sounds or symbols. Sexism is a little bit different. It's a little bit different than the Coagulate-Solvay problem, but you can see a lot of the Solvay in feminism, and that's an issue. Because to compare it against patriarchy, patriarchy provides the framework for both the Solvay and the Coagulate. The solution is the hierarchy. And one of the problems with a lot of academic feminism is that it doesn't provide a very good solution. Or at least it doesn't. At least it doesn't offer a simple framework from which to come to a solution. There is a point in feminism, and I don't think that this is wrong, but it also kind of this is also like one of the difficulties. I don't want to say problem, but I definitely want to say difficulties, which is there is a point at which feminism is a feeling. You know, um, because there are a lot of appeals to empathy in feminism. Just intrinsically. Um, we're not. Let's put turfs aside. Like that's a part of feminism too, but like we're not. We're talking about holistically. Holistically, there's a lot of call for empathy, as women are just as capable as men. That's not something you can intellectually prove. That's not something you can honestly intellectually prove, nor is it something that you can intellectually disprove. It's a feeling. It is a feeling. So at some point, feminism is about feeling, and that doesn't fit within the formatting of the mind that we have due to hierarchy and patriarchy. In my opinion, feminism's biggest problem is turfdom. At least at the moment, at least right now, its biggest problem is turfdom. Because there's been a breakdown. But here's the weird thing: it's a breakdown of empathy based on definition. Follow any form of thinking, and you're going to find these really stupid contradictions. Like any form of thinking, all of them, all of them, all of them, all of them. None of them are pure. None of them are pure. Some of them look really straightforward and pure until they actually hit the real world. Patriarchy is like that. Patriarchy offers you very simple answers based on rank, class status, whatever you want to call it. The problem is you hit the real world, and what if the guy on top is an idiot? Like, it all makes sense until it hits the real world. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute. This is dumb. This doesn't solve all problems. This is not a solution that solves all problems. And I don't expect feminism to be able to solve all problems. But at the end of the day, my feelings on feminism come down to women should be treated as equals. And that's a feeling. That's a belief. That's a thought. That's a feeling. I can't prove that in a scientific sense. I can't use Solve to prove that because it's not something that is provable or even should be proven in that way. It's a feeling. Yeah, real life is not Lord of the Rings. This is not. At what point does feminism become just another form of sexism? Well, it depends on how you define sexism. Like, that would be a very easy question to answer if we all had the same understanding of the word sexism, but we don't. This is where Solve becomes useful. But the problem is then you have to get everyone else to agree on the definition in order to properly talk about it. That's where that's where the shit hits the fan, and that's where everything gets messy. The definitions of words like sexism. Because if you use If you use the definition of sexism, that is gender-based prejudice, then it is very easy to talk about where the sexism of feminism comes in. You know, there are a whole bunch of little points where it comes in, where gender-based prejudice comes in. The easiest one to identify is turfdom. That's gender-based prejudice. You know, and it's the most obvious form. You know, but if you say sexism is gender-based prejudice plus power, now the argument gets a lot more difficult to have, because now we have to discuss what power means. But if we're just talking about gender-based prejudice, like, look no farther than the TERFs to see what the problems, the gender-based problems of feminism are. You know, it can lead to that. I don't know if there's a way to avoid it, though. Or if there is, I don't know what it is. You know, but once again, what we're really we're arguing, we're not. Once again, this is why I'm like, coagula is important, because whether or not a trans woman is a woman essentially comes down to belief. It comes down to a feeling, which is neither provable nor disprovable. And it's important to remember that it's not provable or disprovable. You know, it's neither. You know, yeah, when you start thinking too much in absolutes, you essentially become a Final Fantasy villain. Because fantasy, okay, so here's the thing about all the good Final Fantasy stories, is that they're all ethical questions in which there are two answers to a single question. And the question is very broad. You know, like, how should we treat the earth? What is most important in life? Shit like that. And all the variations of the good Final Fantasies come down to either authoritarianism or love. Like, those are the two forces arguing. Do you go the path of love, or do you go the path of authoritarianism? You know, do you want love or do you want control? You know, do you want control or do you want love? Like, what is it? You can only have one. It can only be one. So what are you going to do? You know, and usually the answer is love, because, like, that's the good guy way. You know, that's the hero way. You know, or better way of putting it, that's the good guy way. You know, love is more important than control. And if you play like particularly in Final Fantasy 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, you can see that. It gets a little bit more muddled in 10, but it still has it. But by the time the original head writer goes, that argument is, they forget that that's the argument. They forget that that's what it is. It's an extended fucking conversation of saying why love is the answer and why control will always fail. You know, at least according to the writer. You know, yeah, they pursue ideals to destructive ends, and it's always about control. You know, they want some sort of control for whatever reason, either because they think they have a right to do so, or because they've gone mad. Like Sephiroth went insane. You know, he needed to make order out of chaos because his whole mind became chaos. You know, he could not accept himself. That was the other thing about Final Fantasy VII is the sub story, the drama is all about acceptance. You know, self acceptance. You know, if Sephiroth could have fucking accepted that he was part alien, there probably would have been no problem. Yeah, Final Fantasy IX is very much, that's the one where it's like, is it love or control? You know, was very poignant. Was very poignant. Never played? Oh, well, those Final Fantasy 4 through 9 are really good. They're really good games. 10, your mileage may vary. I liked it, but it's not as well written as the previous 4. No, previous 6 actually. 4 and 5, 6, yeah, sorry, me and counting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 6. It's not as good as the previous 6 as far as the narrative is concerned. The narrative of 4 through 6 are really good. Yeah, Final Fantasy 6 is that theme taken to its extreme, you know. And then, but the thing I thought was very interesting is that the focus was not on that one, was not on romantic love. Although there is a romantic love story being told, but the main love story is the power of friendship. It's one of the reasons that Final Fantasy VI is my favorite, because it still contains a love story, but it's really about friendship. And I haven't played the remakes of the Final Fantasy VII remakes, so I don't know how well they're doing with that. I mean, it looks like a fun game. I just haven't played it. Haven't played them. Yeah, the real Final Fantasy was the friends we made along the way. Like, yeah, that's Final Fantasy VI in a nutshell. You know, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. I really like it. So yeah, but like go away. Hush. Okay, I'm gonna get myself another coffee. I'll be right back. And I'll put on the music so you have something to listen to. Well, like, let's take a more modern story that says something very similar to Final Fantasy, and that is the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. That in many ways says the same thing. Because all their villains are about control, like very directly. Some sort of control over something. Usually the universe, because there's no bigger stakes, right? But what Guardians of the Galaxy says is that love and friendship are way more important. It also says things like, the grandiosity of diversity is better than the grandiosity of control. All the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are about friendship. And they're about friendship. And the thing is, because it's 3 movies, they're about friendships that take different turns. Like, they all remain friends, but their relationships to each other change constantly. Most obviously evidence in the relationship between Star-Lord and Gamora. Hey, Delta Oracle, thanks for the donation. Ave Satana, biggest dickus or whatever.
Biggest dickus or whatever.
Thank you. Man. Another great example, this may seem like a trivial one, but I actually don't think it's trivial. Example of Coagulate versus Solve is the comic art form. You've got 2 separate things, words and pictures. 2 different forms of communication working in tandem together. That's actually really cool. That's actually really cool shit. One of the things I like about role-playing games is that it is also pulling together 2 separate parts. It is putting together drama and game theory. But it's very touch and go, because so much of the drama comes from the people playing the game, and the game theory comes from the game system itself. And it's really hard to, I would have to say that probably the purest form of role playing was the LARP. I think that is the apex of the art form. The problem, I haven't played Dispatch yet. I'm told it's real good. But, like, for example, I think LARP is the height of the role playing art form, because it brings the drama and both the drama and the game system into sharp relief, and they're working in tandem. In the tabletop, the game is has a little bit more prominence. Um, whereas the LARP, particularly like those old vampire LARPs, like brought those two elements together beautifully. The problem is the game is only good as the people that play it. And you can probably guess what the issue with that is. So I don't think there's ever going to be a LARP that is as big in the entertainment world as like a movie. I think it exists in a separate realm, but for some reason, it's the one I'm interested in. Role playing games. I like LARPs, but like they're exhausting. They require a lot. I would play in a LARP again. I don't know if I would run one. I don't know if I would help run one. And if I had my choice of genre in the LARP I was in, it'd probably be cyberpunk. I feel like that's where I kind of shine. Ugh. That's kind of my thoughts on that. So all of that is part of my like discussion. Oh, excuse me. Don't look at that. That's my emails. Um, what kind of vampire am I? Well, if we're gonna go with Vampire the Masquerade, it's Bruja. You know, I love to think, I love to contemplate, but I also believe at some point fists get involved. I could play a lot of different vampires though. But at the end of the day, I'm a street. At the end of the day, in my heart, I am a street level vampire. All right, you have a good day, Cave Witch. Oh, it freaks me out seeing you stream during daylight hours. Yeah. I know it's a little odd. I do it randomly because I don't often feel um up for streaming during the daylight hours. Oh no, we're saying you're streaming while the sun's up. What kind of vampire does that? Daywalker. Oh, I see. Okay. You'd be Gangrel at heart. You'd be out in the wilderness, expressing your animalism, your bestial nature. It's 16.4, 1640. Yeah, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, you're on that border between. You're in that rural area, that kind of borderland between the civilized and the untamed. Isn't a daywalker vampire slur for humans? Well, no. Daywalker is a vampire that walk around during the day. Is not harmed by the sun. Well, it's night here, says Navatorture. Navator True, sorry. Navigator True. Sorry, I thought. Oh, thank you, Riggs.
For Babylon.
Yes, for Babylon, we will accept. Babylon is one of the other gods that I deal with sometimes. But my relationship to Babylon is strange. It's more as a mother figure. You know,
I'm sexy and I know it.
oh, what the hell? Oh, background music. In other news, the bar that does the goth clubs is going to have a spooky holiday arts and crafts going on. Oh yeah, you should totally go to that. Never create your YouTube name on gin. Navigator True. Yeah, I keep reading it as Navitorture. As opposed to Navigator True. But that probably just shows where my mind goes. Oh, man. Yeah, to me, Babylon is... For me, is a dark goddess as a maternal figure. Even though she exists in light. A lot of complicated feelings. As opposed to Lilith, which is about woman as subject of desire. And a lot of other things. Actually, it'd probably be more accurate to say Lilith is the non-matronly part of femininity to me. You know, my relationship with Lilith is a bit more fleshed out than my relationship with Babylon. Let's see. So, I have like essentially five gods that I work with for different reasons. Lilith Taos, Baphomet, Babylon the Great, Lilith, and Satan. Funny, I don't deal with a straight up magic god. You know, unless you count Baphomet. But it's a very particular, that'd be a very particular type of magic. You think it'd be a city gangrel, the urban is another wild land? No Chinese god. No! Strangely enough, no. Strangely enough, not. Yeah, they're all Western. You know, Middle Eastern or Western. You know, because I don't worship Buddha, and no one really should. You know, he is an example. One should not worship him. I don't think people should worship Jesus either. You know, I think Jesus should be an exemplar. Should be the example. Like, you can still be your Messiah and not necessarily be your God. The Monkey King sounds great. Yeah, but worshipping the Monkey King, I feel is wrong. It doesn't feel right somehow.
Hear what I say. We are the business today. Fuck shit is finished today. RT and J. We the new PB and
Oh, actually, I fucked up. It's not the fifth one is not Satan. The fifth one is Dionysus. But yeah, it's still Western. And Satan is the force that holds all five together.
We are the pain you can trust. Trumpet work. Hooking up curses and slurs. Smoking my brain in a mush. I became famous for blaming you fucks. Naming my way through the brush. There was no training or taming of me and my
Yeah,
Feel like a man, but I'm animal raw.
We are the murderers there. That with the jail and we murdered the murderers there. Then with the hell and discovered the devil delivered some hurt and despair. Used to have powder to push.
It's weird because I don't want to worship the Monkey King. And I don't want to worship the Goddess of Mercy either because that ain't my thing. I may have a lot of mercy, but I do not worship it. No old gods like Cthulhu? Nah. Too inhuman.
I am the living swipe right on the mic, I'm a slut. I don't know how to not spit like a loud. I spill a pound of my kids on your couch.
I need a god to respond and do something I actually want. No, none of the Chinese gods have shown a lot of interest in working with me. The Monkey King has shown me stuff, you know, but I don't feel like worship is right. Flying Spaghetti Monster? Nah. Once again, I need my god to do shit. And it needs to be shit that I can't do myself. I can make spaghetti. I need to feel like if I make an offering to the gods, there's going to be an answer. Yeah, it is kind of strange that there are no Chinese gods. I think if I were Japanese, the Inari would probably show up there somehow. The fox goddess. Because I would have to be something that is untrustworthy. You know, something strong. I'll give offerings to other gods. But like, as far as like regular communication, yeah, Monkey King, I don't know. I'll think about that. I'll meditate on it.
And that's from the crew you can trust. Warranty plus for fucking shit up. We are the no-gooders, do-gooders, known to the dancers and dealers and doers of
You need success. Yeah. Yeah, I need to be working towards things I actually want. Like, this is why I don't worship a money god. I don't actually care about money. Don't get me wrong, I want it. I like having it. But the worship of money, the sacrifices of worshiping money are very well known. And I'm not willing to make any of those sacrifices. Money is not worth that much. Yeah, Buddhism and Taoism doesn't really have space for an almighty God. You know, I would say my general outlook is very Taoist. It's very Taoist, very Buddhist. And that's where the Eastern philosophy comes in. You know, it's not in the service of a God so much as in the exploration of thought or philosophy. You know, oh, Eshu. Ooh. Well, Sun Wizard, it does kind of come down to, yeah, Odin is that's always a tough one. Yeah, money can't make you cool. You know. Hecate, Diana, Odin, maybe Eshu. What's your ethnicity, son? Is you a whitey white guy? And bear in mind, I consider like all the Western Europeans to be white people. Whitey white, yep, okay. Maybe not Eshu. Let me double check. Maybe make sure I'm remembering who Eshu is. Natural enforcer of Eshu. Natural enforcer of laws. Messenger of the Orishas. Okay, yeah, that is who I thought it was. Unless you have some sort of connection with voodoo. Eshu is an Orisha god, very directly from Africa. So unless you have like a really strong calling that in some way can be culturally backed up, you know, maybe not Eshu. You know, because like the closest, in America, the closest to Eshu is Papa Legba. You know, that puts it in America. That puts it in the realm of voodoo, and hoodoo. And that might be a little too foreign to you. Whereas Hecate, Diana, and Odin are all Western gods, as opposed to African. That's one of the things I don't like about the way we divide the world, because I am sure Africa has its own philosophy. Like, there's no way it doesn't. But we don't know anything. In the West, we don't know anything. Because we look down on it. You know, hoodoo, you do. Odin is a demanding god. Diana is the virgin huntress. Hecate is god of wizards. Sorry, witches. Goddess of witchcraft. With her three faces.
I like sex lines, porno shops, smoking weed and quitting shops.
She's the archetypal trick goddess, if I'm remembering my lore correctly. Eshu could definitely be a god you listen to. Definitely could be a god you listen to. You don't have to worship a god in order to have a conversation with him. You don't have to be a dedicated priest or anything like that, anything approaching that.
I'm a drinker, I'm a smoker, I'm a loser,
like for example, like I don't consider myself a worshiper of Semitic, but I do have conversations with them. I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like I'm black, i.e. black at all. And I definitely consider him. Yeah, I consider all the Loa and the evil. You know, I just don't have that DNA in me, you know, culturally or literally. Whereas I do culturally have, like, Satan. You know, hard to be alive in the Western world and not have Satan in your cultural DNA. All right, Chris Goodness, you take care. You know, one of the things I think about Satan is that he is the inevitable consequence of all the gods or all the aspects of all the gods that Christianity has run into, that Christianity declared heretical. You feel guilty when you don't offer still beating heart to Kukulkan during the solstice? Well, are you Hispanic in any way? You know, did you grow up in Mexico? Oh, I forgot Santa Muerte. There are 6. The Stizo from Honduras. Ah. Oh, okay. So you got Kukulkan in your cultural DNA, and in your literal DNA. Who does this song? Oh, this is Alok and Seven's cover of The Wall. He's got a video. Dancing Rats. Yeah. So, like, you know, something like Kukulkan or Quetzalcoatl would have great significance. You could try Quetzalcoatl. He is the kinder version of Kukulkan. He is Rainbow Serpent. Let's see what's coming after this. Oh, y'all know this one by now. Should I take up Kali worship? Are you... Kali's an interesting one. Kali is an interesting one. That is an interesting one. The death aspect of the mother, the great cosmic mother. The death and destruction aspect. Yeah. Do you have a connection to India? Do you have some connection to India, Star Wars? Find Kali powerful and so great? Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, if you have a connection to India or Hinduism, I would say go for it. I'm black and from the northeast of America. Oh, northeast. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Check out the Loa and the Orishas. And see if one of them fits. Yeah. They're into spooky shit. Way scarier than the Temple of Doom. Yeah. In Elder Scrolls. Yeah. But like, yeah, Kali is special. You know, she's special. And I don't know too much about her worship. You'd probably be better off asking her. Oh, you're in Flint, Michigan? Oh, okay. Yeah, I would ask Yogi. He's on. When he's on, I would also check out the Orishas and the Loa. Because those are African and Afro-Caribbean gods. And I don't understand enough about the worship of Kali to I don't know if there's any sort of hereditary thing that like is necessary for Kali. You're from South Shields, UK? Ah. Yeah, so what I'm basically saying is look into Orisha worship and voodoo. They are different. They're connected. They're related. They're very related, but they are very different. You may end up back at Kali anyway, and if so, then at that point, you know. You know, I recommend exploring as much as possible. Yeah, I do think it's odd that I don't worship any Chinese gods, but when you realize that, like, I take Buddhism and Taoism very seriously, that's where it comes in. You know, that's where my genetic background and cultural background comes in. Yeah, you get your pick of the Greco-Roman and Celtic gods. Yeah, Colin Jensen. There are a lot of them, and there's a lot written about them. You know, I actually do think that it's very important for what we call white people to kind of reclaim the cultural heritage which has been hidden from them. You wouldn't know where to start? Oh, man. Just look up Celtic, just look up various Celtic, Roman, and Greek gods. Do that on the internet. That's where you start wherever. You know, if you like books, get books on Celtic gods. There are tons of them. There's a huge industry surrounding it. This is Disorder by Joy Division, my favorite Joy Division song. Where to start? Yeah, just start anywhere. The internet will give you some direction. Books will continue to inform. Kojima loves Joy Division. Oh, well, he has good taste. Kojima has good taste. There's an entire cyberpunk novel called Bad Voltage that's set to Joy Division. I actually recommend it. It's one of the most punk of the cyberpunk novels, and it's a very underappreciated novel. It's really good. What are white people claiming our heritage? The guy who runs the Nordic anime initiated a Brazilian Orisha tradition. Oh man. I think, okay. The guy that runs the Nordic Animism channel is being initiated in Brazilian Orisha tradition, and the end of it, Odin was the one who showed up. Is he also a white supremacist? Oh, for that matter, Colin, yeah, the Nordic gods are also an option, probably an option for you. Assuming that you're Caucasian.
Somewhere deep in the hills of Old Bonnie, Scotland. It was exactly 1 year ago that Speed Racer and his Mach 5 defeated us. We swore that someday we would get our revenge. That time is almost at hand.
You know, that definitely sounds like a white person's journey. He said somewhat scornfully.
Let's break that speed record. 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 Let's break that speed record.
There's a Nordic animism channel, hey? Oh boy. Well, he looks like I figured he'd look like.
Trixie. Trixie.
Well, if he did Nordic animism, I don't know why he'd be initiated into Brazilian Orisha. Like, that's a weird path. I mean, that he would end up on Odin will be, of course.
Trixie.
I don't understand why do so few people worship the Titans. Oh, largely because I don't know. Oh, this is the Speed Racer Remix Alpha Team Dirty version. It's time for Sabarasha. No, what? No, go back to Russia. There we go. Saw a Doge drone up as the mock. Oh, a Dodge. I thought you said Doge. It's like a Doge drone? Oh, God. Oh, no, a Dodge. Okay. That's different. I have no idea what you're saying. Well, you gotta remember the Titans are the ones that would eat their children. So there you go. You do kept remembering this channel, like, fine, what's this about? This lady, the absolute chud who claims to be a social scientist. Oh God, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. Yeah, I'm sure. You know. supports queer rights and started a project to keep white supremacy from claiming white. Oh. Interesting. Does he live in Brazil? Because, like, Maurice is a weird choice for one. I mean, I could see someone doing it. It's just weird. What's worse, cannibalism or transforming into a swan and essaying random mortal women? Cannibalism. And cannibalism, of course. Not the essay one of the worst. It ain't bad. It's horrible. But yeah, I think eating children is worse. No, he moved back to his home country. Look at his student okay, this journey, that journey is weird. I'd have to look into it more. That is a weird journey. But going to other people's gods is something that a lot of white people do, which I actually kind of discourage. You know, I actually kind of discourage. Like, if you're part of the diaspora, you're like African or something, it's different. But like, white culture is so separated from its spiritualism that there are a lot of cultural white assumptions about what spiritualism is broad, it's translated, and this gets weird. Go up Black Candidates and ran over Obama's name so they wouldn't be assassinated. Yeah, I'd have to know more about, like, what his specific journey was, what his connection to the was, you know. Because depending on the Orishas, race might matter. Like for some gods, that's not an issue. Santa Muerte is a great example. You know, pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know too much about the Orishas, and I don't know I know next to nothing about the Brazilian flavor. So that could be legit. It could also be BS. It's hard to say. At least he didn't call himself a group. He's like, people on the left are ugly. Oh, already you don't have to listen to that bitch. A libertarian monarchist? Well, fuck you, bitch. No kings, no masters. Fuck a monarchy. In the ass. Yeah, it's almost Roman-style throat slitting Brazilian politics. That's what Bolsonaro's got. Decades in prison for his coup attempt. Oh, yeah. Man. Man, that's rough. Violent for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I think people on the right are violent for shooting up schools. I mean, maybe that's just me. I think people on the right are violent for storming the Capitol in order to interrupt the fucking election results. Well, I can't speak against celebrating Charlie Kirk's death. I did it. I should have thrown myself a little party. Gotten a little Charlie Kirk pinata. Fucking beat the shit out of that thing to the tin can. Oh, well, the left is the really violent one. Not in this country, not right now.
The left is a really violent one. I'm a very intelligent person.
Shut up, yo's beast. And in Paladin. Oh my god. Okay, so she's a white supremacist. Oh my god.
Shadows on the walls, underneath concrete,
Science of Hard Times, a Strong Man. Oh, fuck you.
hiding in the open. Run from the hopeless, broken truths. Holding
Jesus. Why did I look that up? Now they're gonna try to fucking show it to me. Alt-looking right-wing girls can fucking kiss my ass as I take a diuretic shit. Like, that to me is an utter betrayal. You're an alt-looking chick who's into right-wing politics. Fuck you. Fuck you. I bet you're only as intelligent as your current boyfriend.
stare into the void, flip in
You're only average looking. Your personality ain't much to speak of, and your intellect is questionable. And it's now going to design her to the trash bin of fucking music. Like, fucking her and Laura Chen and fucking Head. They can all fucking like eat a dick. They can eat a syphilitic dick. I don't hate women, but I hate them. Just like I don't hate all men, but I hate Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder. I hated Charlie Kirk too. Fuck that thing. Stinking thinking. Ah, well, whatever. Hey, yeah. Okay, yeah. Whoa. Let's count this. Reminding me that she's gonna need the seat sometime soon. That requires room. I told her, hey, morning, man. Let's listen to that song again. I like this song. Oh, wait. It went on to the next one. Well, this is Busy Child. I like this too, so we'll just let it play. Busy Child by Christian Becky. Do you think Eminem could work with the Orishas Loa? Ooh, maybe. Maybe.
I guess I didn't know.
Yeah, maybe, actually. That's an interesting question.
I guess I didn't know.
Oh, god damn it. Fly got my coffee. Fly got my goddamn coffee. Have I seen Deathstalker? Yeah, we did see Deathstalker. We're going to do a vlog on that later tonight.
Get busy time.
It's got Pat Oswalt in it as the voice of the little goblin wizard dude.
Get busy time. Get busy time. Get busy. Get busy.
I guess I
Get
didn't.
busy. Get busy. Get busy. Get busy.
I guess I didn't.
Get busy. Get busy. Get busy.
I guess I didn't.
Get busy.
I guess I didn't.
Get busy time.
I guess I didn't know.
Get busy time.
I guess I didn't.
Get busy time.
I guess I didn't know.
Get busy time.
I guess I didn't.
Yeah, it's all fucked up.
I guess I didn't know.
Ho, Flashman, how's your morning going? I wonder. Oh, that was something. God damn it. I clicked away from an ad I was interested in. Okay, what if I reload? If I reload. Give me the same ad. You will. Excellent. Literally just woke up, but I really hope I can find a job soon. It really, yeah, this place. Oh, yeah. I hear you, man.
Get busy time. 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 I guess I didn't know. Get busy time. Get busy. I guess I didn't know. Get busy. Get busy. I guess I didn't. Get busy. I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't. I guess I didn't.
Ad did not take me long. It burned in hell for it.
I guess I didn't know. I guess I didn't know.
I wish I could live on my own without requiring being a slave to our corporate overlords and being miserable. Yeah. Hey man, living on your own can be its own reward. You know, tons of people have to work a job that they're not real crazy about. But I'm sure you can find one that fits you. One that works well enough. You know, better living in bad circumstances. You have a job that pays ass? Ooh, yeah, that's not good. Better than being broke, but only just, right? Hey, if anyone wants to keep me from being broke, feel free to donate. I like the one I have. Oh, you do have a job. You just rather not go full time. Oh, I see. Okay. No. If you got a job, that's probably decent.
I was a ghost, I was alone. 두어진 길 속에 Given the throne, I didn't know how to believe I was the queen that I'm meant to be. I lived 2 lives, tried to play both sides, but I couldn't find my own place. Caught a problem child, 'cause I got too wild, but now that's how I'm getting paid. Could that see on stage? I'm done hiding, now I'm shining.
Held the same job for almost 8 years now. Oh, well, there you go. That's good. Gotta live the way that's right for you. That is a really hard thing to do. But I don't know any other way of doing it. Oh, thanks, Cheap Battle. I appreciate it. Appreciate you $5. Hail Satan. Hail Satan to me. All the great fucking pleasures of the earth be yours. This from me the other day, my boss was like, another great news. Like, oh, you quitting? Oops. The truth. It has a way of speaking. Okay, I'll probably be going off, logging off soon. I'll just get a rest. Man, I wish I had more money. Like, here's an artist that I see if I can get it on. Yeah. Kiana Ham. Stuff like this. That.
There's a lot of space out there to get lost.
these cool Frankenstein pictures. Female Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein.
Evil. No evil. Putting the pedal to the metal. Here goes.
We're not getting enough of the image. Hold on.
This Cold War just got hot.
Oh, this is apparently her. She likes Lilith. That's a good sign.
Let's see what this baby can do.
Like this.
Satellite defense net locked and A-OK.
Maybe get her input on the vampires.
Okay, last one to kill a bad guy buys the beer.
This mission sucks.
Ooh. Transformation of the Vampire. Yeah, this is close to what I want the Vampires of Babylon to be like. They're very bat-like. So I think that's cool. Ooh. Ant werewolves. Okay, so she's done really, really weird shit. That's good. A lot of different environments, really good with the lighting and character design. Maybe get her to design the Child Slayer monster. I like the Child Slayer. I mean, Child Slayer is probably my favorite creature that I created for Babylon. Make vampires bats again. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, this. Yeah, I'll just straight up ask her on a recent post how to get in touch with her. Won't be able to hire her for a bit, but definitely someone I want to check out. Odin Fangs. I've thought up space lycanthropes that can take the durability such a degree they can breathe in space and build their own planets. Yeah. Oh my god, that sounds wild. Bolted, a Frankenstein-style game of necromancy. What can take me there? Oh, neat.
It's hard to make friends as an adult. That's what I've been.
Oh my god. I have to check that out in more detail. All right, for now, I think I should be getting on. The Countess have a rest. I will see you all later. Until next time, which may be tonight. Javi Francisco